Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello! My name is Caroline and I make sewing tutorials and sewing patterns to help you along the sewing journey. And if you're not new here, you might have noticed that I was absent for a little while. And that's because I went on a month-long trip to Europe. I visited London, I visited a lot of cities in the south of France. I went to Nice, Antibes, Aix, Villefranche-sur-Mer. And I also spent quite a bit of time in Paris. The entire trip was incredible. I just loved every single place that I went to. I went with my friend Amy. She was the one who invited me to go with her. And it was just perfect. I mean, not perfect. No trip is ever perfect, is it? But even the problems that happened along the way, they didn't really bother me at all because I was just so happy the whole time. I have a lot of sewing related things to show you guys that I bought, but I also have some things that are not sewing related at all. I did buy clothes, I went thrifting, I bought books, some French skincare and hair care products, and a new computer. I got the new MacBook Air M4 while I was there too. So I'm going to separate the video in chapters, and while I show you some of the things that I got, I'll also tell you a little bit about the trip. I'll show you some photos, some videos. So this is definitely going to be a very long video, and I thought about it a lot whether I should make this or not. I almost didn't because I thought no one would really care, but then I was watching a haul video as I usually do, and I was very entertained by it, and I realized that some people might care, some people might be interested, so let's start. So starting the video really well, I actually filmed for like 40 minutes maybe, and then the battery of the camera died and it didn't save the video. So I'm gonna restart. Alright, I actually already unfolded all the fabric that was very neatly folded and very pretty, and now it's all a mess, but I'm gonna rewind and I'm gonna tell you everything again. Let's hope I don't forget anything. I think I started talking about London first. I actually wasn't expecting to fall in love with London as much as I did. I didn't expect the city to be so green, so floral, and as beautiful as it was. I have to say that I was very starstruck the whole time that I was there because I just found everywhere that I looked so beautiful. And we were also very lucky because the entire week that we spent in London was actually sunny. I think only one of the days that we went there actually rained. The other days were like blue skies, sun was shining, and everyone was like very happy and outside. And it was spring, so there were so many flowers everywhere. Like, I was seriously not expecting the city to be as green and as floral and as breathtakingly beautiful as it was. And everyone in London was so nice. The moment that we got there, we're actually taking the tube, not the subway, the tube, from Heathrow to the Airbnb that we were staying, and we had to carry some luggage upstairs. And I didn't even notice, but this older man just approached me and was like, "Let me carry it for you." And he picked it up, the heavier one, the bigger one, and just carried it upstairs for me. And it was so nice. And that happened very often actually in Paris as well. More than once people offered to help me out with my luggage. That was so kind. But the first day was basically, we just arrived kind of at nighttime, so it doesn't really count. The actual first day, which was the next day, I went out with one of my best friends, Paula. She recently moved to London earlier this year with her husband and her little baby, Nico. And it was very nice being able to catch up with her. We went to have lunch together, and then she took me to like the Oxford Circus, like the center part of London, so I could see it. And also we went to the Liberty store that day. Liberty was one of the stores that I really wanted to go because I always heard a lot of other sewists from like the UK and from other countries talking about Liberty fabrics, and we don't really have Liberty fabrics here in Brazil, so I was very excited to check it out. And I knew that they were a little bit on the pricier side, so I was prepared. Like, I knew that it would be more expensive, but if I really liked the fabric, I was gonna buy it. And I didn't really fall in love with any of the fabrics there. And since it was the very first day, I ended up not buying anything from the Liberty store itself. And I have to say that I had plans on going to a lot of different other fabric stores. You guys gave me so many recommendations in the comments, but I have to say that a lot of the things that I had planned to do in London, I actually didn't. And I'm not upset about that at all because, as I said, the sun was shining basically every day that I was there. And I'm from Rio, so I guess I kind of took that for granted because Rio is always sunny like this. This is our winter and it's warmer than London's spring. And one of the days that I had separated to do a lot of fabric shopping, I went to have breakfast in this gluten-free bakery spot in Notting Hill. And while I was leaving, the cashier, she was very nice. She said to me, have a nice day, really enjoy the sunshine, the sun is shining, enjoy the sunshine. And that's when I realized that London isn't always like that, right? So instead of being inside stores, I just walked around a lot. All that to say, I didn't buy a lot of fabrics in London, but I definitely do plan on going back to London. So next time that I'm there, I'm going to focus a little bit more on fabric shopping, but just I actually didn't end up doing a lot of the things that I had planned because I had planned a lot of things that were indoors, but I spent a lot of time outside. And I'm very happy about that because London is gorgeous. And now I have to find where the hell is the fabric. Found it. So the only fabric that I bought while I was in London was actually from Liberty, but I didn't buy it at the Liberty store. I bought it at this store called Tote Fabrics. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but one of you guys also recommended me in the comments to go there, and I did. And everyone there was also very nice. They had so many different fabrics to choose from. They had their own cotton lawn from their own brand, but they also had a lot of Liberty cotton lawn fabrics at the store. And it was actually cheaper to buy it there than it was to buy at Liberty. At Liberty, I think it's 29 pounds per meter, but at this store, it was 25 pounds per meter, which is still pretty expensive. I think it's probably the most that I have spent like per meter on a piece of fabric. So I only bought 1.5. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but it's this one. It's really part of my color palette. I really love these colors, and it's so incredibly soft, but I'm very happy with this. Now, the other fabrics that I have to show you, I actually bought in Paris. I'm going to do some pit stops along the way because I'm scared that I'm going to lose footage again, so I'm going to stop recording now and restart. So I don't know, I'm very disappointed with this camera. Like, I cannot believe that I just lost all of the footage. Whatever, it's done. But the other fabrics that I got were in Paris. The fabric district in Paris is in Montmartre. It's very close to the Sacré-Cœur. I spent more time in Paris than in London, so I actually went searching for fabrics more than one separate day. And there are lots of really good fabric stores around that area. They're very close to each other, like across the street. The very first one that I went to, it's called Coupon de Saint-Pierre. There they sell pre-cut fabrics, so they're usually cuts of 3 meters of fabrics. And they're all there, already cut, and you have the little tag on it with the composition, the price, and how much fabric you get. The very first fabric that I got there was this linen right here. It's pretty heavy because it's 3 meters. And here you have it like 100% linen, 3 meters for 40 euros. And it's very soft. I'm very happy with this. The other fabric that I got from them, I actually already turned into a garment. Couldn't really wait, sorry. But it's this white linen with lavender print. It's gorgeous, 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 but they only had 1.5 meters of this. It was like the end of it. It still had the manufacturer's label in it, and it was actually written in Portuguese. It seemed like it was Brazilian Portuguese actually, not Portugal's Portuguese, because there are some slight differences you can actually usually tell, but maybe it was from Portugal, I don't know. But I made this lovely dress here. It's midi length with an A-line skirt and princess seams. Even though I didn't have a lot of fabric, I was able to make this crisscross back detail to tighten up the back because I gained a little bit of weight while I was away. So in case I lose some of the weight that I gained, I would have a way to tighten it up in the back just in case, because I don't really like doing those alterations of like taking it at the sides or anything. I'm kind of lazy, so I knew that I wouldn't do that if I had to. And if you want to learn how to make this dress, I'm going to link my last video in the description. I showed you how to make the pattern and how to sew it. And it was 15 euros per 1.5 meter. The coupon was 15 euros, so 10 euros per meter. I really love this. The third fabric that I got from Coupon de Saint-Pierre was 100% silk fabric. It has a very subtle sheen to it, and it's very, very, very soft. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this, but it's like this green, this, not emerald. What is it called? I forgot, but you can see, I also think this is part of my color palette. I really like this color. And they had this entire pile of silk fabrics that were discounted with 30% off. So here the tag says silk 100% and 30 euros per 3 meters. But I actually paid 21 euros per 3 meters. So each meter actually costs 7 euros. I think it's a pretty good deal. Across the street from Coupon de Saint-Pierre, you have Marché de Saint-Pierre, and it's this gigantic store. I think they have like 5 different levels of fabrics. Not all of them are like for clothes, but when I went there, it was already like towards the end of the trip, so I didn't have enough space to buy a lot of the things that I wanted to buy. They had some really great quality denim there that I really wanted to bring home, but it was very heavy. So I got this cotton right here. I think I got less than 1.5 meters. I fell in love with this print, and I actually wanted to get like more than 2 meters because I wanted to make a sleeve for my computer, and I also wanted to make something to wear out of it because I really love the print, but again, it was the end of the roll, so I could only buy what they had, and I think it was like 1.5. And I don't remember exactly the price, but I think it was like 18 euros per meter. I'm not sure. I don't remember. This one doesn't come with the tag. Right next to Coupon de Saint-Pierre, there's a store called Thrift. If I'm not mistaken, that's the name of the store. I didn't really buy anything from there, but everyone there was so kind. They were so nice. The fabric was very well organized. They had so many different fabrics to choose from, and they had air conditioning, which was not the case for most stores that I went to. They were really trying to help me find the fabric that I wanted, even though my French is not the best at all. They were doing like we were going through a lot of effort into communicating, and everyone was very nice. So I really recommend you to go there if you go to Paris. And I think it was right next to Thrift. There's this other store that I don't remember the name, sorry, but they also had coupons, so they had pre-cut fabrics. And I found this one that was on sale. It's this satin made out of viscose. When I looked at it, I really liked it, but after I got home, I'm not sure if I really love this print. But it also has a really beautiful sheen to it, and it was 50% off. So this one was 1.5 meters and it cost 18 euros. However, it was 50% off, so I actually paid 9 euros for this. And the last fabric that I have to show you is this one. It's a chiffon, so it's pretty see-through, but it's very delicate and very flowy as well. It's made out of 100% polyester, so not ideal, but I bought it at Sacré Coupon. It's 3 meters and it costed me 10 euros for the 3 meters. Now that all the fabrics are done, there's something that is sewing related that I'm so excited to share. It's pretty heavy. I got a shoemaking kit. I didn't buy this though, I actually got it as a gift. In my last video that I sewed a bag with my mom, one of you guys had commented that I should try making shoes next. And yeah, ever since I heard about like I can make shoes, I really wanted to make it. And since I was going to London and they are a London-based company, I decided to reach out to them, and Amanda, Kate, and Katie, the team behind I Can Make Shoes, they were the sweetest people ever. I went to their office, we had a chat, and they measured my foot. I have pretty big feet. And they gifted me with the entire kit for me to make my own pair of shoes. I'm going to unbox it with you. It's been a while since I got this. I haven't really touched it ever since because I wanted to take everything out of it in front of the camera. But I got the shoe last, the left and the right foot, and I have pretty big feet, as I said. I am a size 40 in Brazil, but in Europe that's 42, so... And it's a little bit wrinkly after being inside my luggage, but here it is, the Mary Jane kit. I'm going to take it out of the bag with you. First we have the leather, and I chose this beautiful light blue leather. We also have the leather for the lining of the shoe, the soles, the pattern. I don't remember what this is for. Maybe for the soles as well. It's very soft. This tool so we can shave the sides of the leather to take away some bulk. I'm pretty sure these are stiffeners that we put on the front of the shoe to give it more shape and support. The buckles for the Mary Janes. Water-based glue, blade, and shoemaking glue. And I also got some really cute stickers that unfortunately got folded along the way. But yeah, now I have everything that I need to make my own pair of Mary Jane shoes. I think it's going to be the next video that I make. I don't know how long it would take for me to make it, but I'm pretty sure this is the next video that I'm going to make, so stay tuned if you want to see me make shoes. And I really want to give another shout out to Amanda, Kate, and Katie. They were the sweetest ever. And I'm also going to link the I Can Make Shoes website in the description of the video if you guys are interested in checking it out. But stay tuned because that video is coming soon. I'm going to start working on it right away. I wanted to film this part before. I wanted to film this video before starting on it, but yeah, now I can finally start. And I'm very excited about that, making my own shoes. Now I'm gonna start talking about the books. I'm going to be very brief. I've heard of some stories of people who had to end up buying extra luggage because they bought a lot of heavy books and a lot of heavy fabric and a lot of heavy stuff. So their luggage was overweight, and yeah. So be careful when you're traveling because I've heard it can be quite expensive to check another bag. Not me though. Someone had to go through that, not me. But I'm gonna start with the fashion books that I got. Both of them are from Fashionary. They were not cheap. Each one of them I think was 40 euros or something. But this was the coolest book ever. This one is literally an encyclopedia of textiles. And the pages are also so cool, but it tells you the characteristics of basically almost every single fiber that you can think of. The size, how to take care of them. Like for example, we have wool here. It has a description, history, some characteristics of them, and also the impacts that it can have on the environment. It has basically all the fibers that you can think of, but it also shows you the different types of ways that these fibers can be yarned, and then how these yarns can be weaved. There's seriously so many. And just by reading it, I have learned so much, but it's also great for you to just have it with you in hand so you can just check it, and the design of it is so nice. Like, honestly, this was one of my favorite things that I bought during the trip. Like, this is such a cool book. I'm gonna see if I can find a link to this book so I can put it in the description for you guys, but this is a very, very, very cool book. And it's also very pretty. So this one was the first one that I got, and then I fell so in love with this that I really wanted to get another one because I don't think I would be able to find this here in Brazil. And if I did, it would be way more expensive to ship here and to pay the taxes and everything. So I got this one, which is Fashionpedia, the visual dictionary of fashion design, history, style, apparel, detail, accessories, textile, manufacturing, body, beauty, measurement, care. It has the drawing of the piece, but it also has the name of it, the exact name of it. English is not my mother tongue, so a lot of times when I'm trying to describe something, I don't really know what it's called. Because I remember that I named one of my free patterns a baguette bag because that's what I heard people call it. And then there were people in the comments saying, this is not a baguette bag. Thank you for telling me, by the way. I thought it was. And if I ever say something and it's not really correct, I don't really mind if you correct me in the comments. I don't think it's rude at all. I know some people might think that, so I'm saying this about me, like don't go correcting everyone else just because I'm saying this, but at least for myself, I really like when people correct me on stuff like that because I would rather just know and learn. So yeah, if I ever say something wrong, because English is not my mother tongue and all of that, you can definitely correct me in the comments. But I haven't read this one yet. I read this one, but not this one. But I bet it's also great and I'm going to learn a lot. But yeah, they were both in English, even though I was in France. And I think I said about how I wanted to buy books in French because I am learning French. I am now at a point where I can read books and understand 85% of it, maybe? Not 100. Not 100. I still have to like check some words, but actually I started learning French back when I was in college. I studied it for like 3 semesters and then 2020 and you know what happened. And I kind of stopped, but before I had planned the trip even, I decided that I was gonna go back to studying French and while I was there, I decided that I was gonna buy some books. Did I go a little bit overboard a bit? Maybe. I think so I did. But as someone who has learned other languages before, this might be a bit of a tip as well. When you're starting out to read books in your target language, try to choose books that you have already read before. Like for example, I read The Hunger Games in French. That was the first book that I read in French. And even though I didn't know all of the words in it, a lot of things I could just guess what they meant because of context and because I had already read it before many times in Portuguese. But these ones I actually got when I was in Nice. I was walking around exploring the city and I walked in front of a comic book shop and they had the entire collection of Naruto. They all completed each other. And it's been a while, but I did actually read the entire Naruto manga from start to finish back when I was younger, more than once. So these are pretty old. They're probably over a decade old, but here in Brazil, we actually buy them like this. I had never seen this type of manga before, where they put so many into just one. But yeah, this is volume 1, but it has like probably 1 to 5 in here. It's not just the one. And I think each one was like $14.90. I also got the first 2 Percy Jackson books. I am currently in the middle of reading the first one. I'm using this basically as a learning exercise. Every word that I don't know what it means, I just line it and I search the meaning, and then I write it down on a notebook. But yeah, this has been very helpful. There are so many expressions here that I didn't know they existed. I forgot about it now, but there was one where he said something about cockroaches. If there's any French person out there that could explain this to me. J'avais le cafard. I'm gonna write it on the screen because my pronunciation is not great. I searched cafard because I had never heard of that word before, and it meant cockroach. So I had to translate the entire sentence because it did not make sense to me. So apparently it means I was sad. So if you have a cockroach, it means that you're sad in French. I also got Le Petit Prince in French. I got it at the Shakespeare & Co. The lady asked me if I wanted her to stamp it, and I said yes. And the other 3 books that I got were also comic books. I did not know that Fangirl had comic books. I actually read this book, I don't know how many years ago, maybe like over a decade ago. And I didn't know that it was a comic book until I saw it at a bookstore in Paris. But they only had like the 3rd volume. So I went to ask the girl if they had the other 2 volumes. So I asked her in French, and then she answered in English. Oh, so you want them in English? So I told her in French that I was actually learning French and that I wanted to buy them in French to practice. So after that, she continued talking to me in French, but it's okay. I'll get there one day. Had to take another break to replace the battery of the camera and also to drink a cup of water. So at the Shakespeare & Co, I also bought their tote bag, and I wore this tote bag a lot. But after I got home and I washed it for the first time, the ink stained the whole thing. So it doesn't look as pretty as it did once I bought it. I think they probably changed it because one of my friends actually had one that her mom bought for her a few years ago, and when I told her that this happened, she said that hers is still in perfect condition. So I don't know exactly what happened. Maybe they changed the materials, or we washed it wrong. I don't know. Another tote bag that I got in Paris was this one from the Musée Carnavalet. It's a free museum that tells you the story of Paris. And I don't know if you guys are into museums, if you love museums or not. One of the things that I did the most while I was in Paris was visiting different museums, and it's a free museum. It was a very nice surprise. This wasn't really on my list. I didn't really know that it existed even, but a friend of mine recommended it to her, so we went together and it was so cool. We couldn't even see the whole thing in one day, so we went back on a different day so we could check the rest that we missed. And I was so impressed by it that I really wanted to get a tote bag. I highly recommend adding this museum to your itinerary because it was very insightful. Learning about the place that you are. Aime and I really love this museum, and I've been using this a lot. And the 3rd tote bag that I have is this one from Dawn Books. Aime had one from the last time that she had visited London, and I saw how much it fit into it. And it's a really good quality tote bag. So I also really wanted one for myself. And I wore this one so much. I wore this from the moment that I got it until something unfortunate happened. I think it was the last day in Nice. I was eating breakfast in the Promenade des Anglais. So I was sitting in one of the benches, looking at the ocean, eating my breakfast, and there were lots of seagulls flying. I didn't really think much of it until after I was walking, I realized that there was this huge bird poop in it. So after that, I kind of had to set this one aside for a little while. I could have washed it, but I ended up not washing it, and I just kept it inside out, inside my bag. I thrifted this little leather bag right here. I forgot the name of Maharaji. I have no idea how to pronounce that, but it kind of has like this place for you to put your cards, and there's a little zipper inside, and it's very compact and cute, and I think it cost me 40 euros, but it was brand new. It still had a tag on it, and when I googled the brand that I didn't really know, the bags on their website were way more expensive than just 40 euros, and it was brand new, so it was exactly what I wanted. At the same thrift store, which I don't remember the name, I also got this pair of linen pants that fit me perfectly. They're very well sewn and very well finished on the inside. This is something that I pay a lot of attention. The pockets have French seams, and on the outside you can see there's this little lining that they put the linen to cover up so you don't see the lining. Those details. And it's from the brand Samso, which I wasn't aware that it existed. Never heard of that before, but I'm pretty impressed with the quality of these shorts. Some other clothes that I bought this top from Urban Outfitters in London. Honestly, I think this one was a little bit pricey. It was 40 pounds, I think, but I really love this. And I tried to recreate this one in my last video as well, so if you wanna learn how to make something like this, I don't have all of them here, but I bought a lot of base layers from Uniqlo. They really saved me, especially in London, because it was pretty cold, for me at least, but I was pretty comfortable with the base layers, so it was fine. I got this turtleneck merino wool sweater from Uniqlo. It was very thin and very warm. And I got this merino wool cardigan as well with the little buttons in the front. I have worn this so much. I love this so much. I want to get this in all the colors they have because it's so warm. It's more than enough in winter here in Rio for me to use just this, and it's like very warm. So the next time that I go to a Uniqlo store, I'm gonna buy more of these. And at Uniqlo, I also got 2 skirts. I have this black one that is a linen and cotton blend. It has some pilling in it, has some fibers, but I love this so much. Recently, there was this discussion on Twitter that I saw that something went viral about people were complaining about skirts that are skirts in the front and shorts in the back. And apparently I have a very unpopular opinion, but I really like skirts that are skirts in the front and shorts in the back, that you can see that it's a short in the back. I like them. I like them so much that I actually got 2. I also got this denim one. It's very wrinkly because it was folded inside of my wardrobe, but it has this elasticated back, which for me is nice because if it doesn't have this, it usually doesn't really fit me that well. I'm very surprised that these 2 actually fit me like almost perfectly, because usually for it to fit my hips, it usually doesn't fit my waist, but this one does, and I really like both of them. I think that's all that I have to show on clothes. Well, this isn't clothing, but it came from a clothing store. And this Saturday, the 20 something, I forgot the exact day, but the Fête de la Musique weekend. So for those of you who didn't know, and I didn't before going, Amy was the one who told me about this, that we needed to be in Paris for this day in particular because the entire city would be musical. There would be music everywhere and people celebrating the arrival of summer. So during that day, Farm, I guess most of you would kind of know that as Farm Rio, is a clothing brand from Brazil, from Rio, that now sells in other countries as well. It sells in Europe and sells in the United States, and they have one store in Paris. And during the day, the Fête de la Musique, they had 2 Brazilian singers performing Brazilian songs in front of the store. It was very lovely. They also translated some of the lyrics to French, so they were singing the songs that we knew in Portuguese, and then suddenly they would switch to French. And inside the store, they were giving us not ice cream, shaved ice that were maracuja flavored. I think maracuja is called passion fruit. But everyone working at the store was Brazilian, which was very nice. And a lot of the people that were outside watching the concert were also Brazilian. We got maracuja shaved ice inside this little cup that has the farm print in it. And it also says, "O amor vibra em todas as cores," which means love vibrates in all colors. And you can just fold it and put it in your bag. And I actually used this in a picnic after that. It was very useful and it's very cute. But yeah, now it's also a very cute souvenir from the trip because that day was very special. It was a very nice day. Fête de la Musique. So I had to take a small break to eat, and now the light is significantly different. The sun is way lower in the sky, so it was directly in my eyes. I had to close the curtains a little. But I'm gonna start with the souvenirs. In the beginning, I decided that I was going to buy magnets because it would take up less space. So I got this one It says London in it. And at the Victoria and Albert Museum, I got this magnet. And at the V&A, I also got this. I forgot how to say this. It's something to put your cups on top. And it's a design adapted from a tile by William de Morgan. And in London, Amy and I also went to Richmond, and I really loved the TV show Ted Lasso. It's one of my favorite TV shows, so I had to go there. While I was there, I bought a cap that said AFC Richmond, and I also got a pin. And I wore my hat a lot. It was one of my favorite things that I had bought during the trip. I wore it almost every single day since I got it. Because to be honest, my hair was not having really great days. From the moment I washed my hair for the first time in London, it was just downhill. My hair was terrible. I think it's something in the water. I think it's because the water has more hard minerals in it. So your hair kind of gets a little bit more, I don't know, it felt like there's a layer of something on top of my hair. It was not shiny, it was acting weird. So I wore that hat almost every single day and I loved it so much, but I unfortunately lost it at some point. I think I lost from the trip to Nice to Paris. So I'm very sad about that because I really love that hat. But there's nothing I can do about it. Maybe next time I'll buy another one. And another souvenir that I got in London was this keychain right here. I don't know if you recognize it, but it's from Hamilton. I also got the little book, but I don't know where it is. But to me, one of the coolest and one of the most special days of the entire trip was the day that I went to watch Hamilton live. And I don't know why, but I basically had forgotten that going to London, I would be able to watch a lot of the musicals that I love live. Like, I just didn't remember that until it was very close to the trip. And then it clicked to me like, oh my god, I could actually watch Hamilton. So I went ahead and I tried to see if they still had tickets available. I think I bought it like 1 week before the trip, but I was able to get pretty good seats to watch Hamilton. It was just everything that I expected from it, but even more. Like, I know the lyrics to almost all of the songs. I'm not a really good rapper, but I do know the lyrics. And I have watched the pro shot many times as well, but none of that compares to watching it live. It was my very first time watching a musical live, and it was so special, like so special. I cried during the entire first act of the play. During the intermission, I sent my mom a photo and I was like crying so much because people are so talented. It's just, everyone was so talented, but I would say the highlight for the play for me was the guy who played Hamilton. He was so talented. His voice was incredible. That entire day was amazing. I think it was one of my favorite days that I've ever had. Oh yeah, and souvenirs that I got from France. I got this little snow globe from Villefranche-sur-Mer. It's really close to Nice and the beach there was so beautiful. I got this pin right here with Nice. And I remember getting one pin that was the flag of France, but I have no idea where it is. And I also got an Eiffel Tower. I guess I should have bought a little telephone cabin to put one right next to the other, but I didn't. So now let's go to the beauty products. Before traveling, I told myself that I wasn't gonna buy any makeup. I did buy something. The House Labs foundation by Lady Gaga. Mine is in the shade 110 Light Neutral, and I am in love with this. And the packaging is also so chic. And unfortunately, we don't really have House Labs in Brazil. But that was all the makeup that I got. I mean, I don't know if this counts as makeup. It's a lip balm. For me, this is more of skincare than makeup, but I got this lip balm from Caudalie. I bought a lot of things from Caudalie because here in Brazil it's very expensive, and in Paris it was way cheaper. I'm gonna go very quickly with the skincare. So first I got this little travel kit, and it comes with 4 travel size products. Comes with this shower gel, this face moisturizer, this body lotion, and this foam cleanser for your face. And I have been using this one ever since I got it, like from the day that I got. And even though it's a travel size, it's mini, I don't think I haven't hit like halfway through the bottle. And it's really good. Like when you press it, it's like a foam. And my skin is always very soft after I use this. I got the face sunscreen and the body sunscreen. And since I bought these two, I actually got this one as a gift, which is a after sun repairing lotion. I also got this deodorant. I haven't used this one yet, but it's a natural deodorant without any aluminum and without alcohol. It smells nice. I haven't tested it. I think it was $7.50, but it smells nice. It smells really fresh. Don't know if it's good though. I got the mini thermal water from Aven. I got the mini Eau de Bouteille. It's really refreshing, but I don't know if this does much. Oh, also something else that I've been using ever since I got was this shower gel. I love the scent that it has. And I also got the moisturizer that has the same scent. I got the Cicaplast balm as well. I have used this for years, but I ran out of it, so I bought while I was there. Oh, I found the French bin. Here it is. I also got this toothpaste right here. I have been using it ever since I got home, and I do actually really like this. And I wasn't planning on buying this at all because I wasn't really aware of this brand. It's a French brand called Skin and Out, but the saleswoman was very convincing. She seemed like she knew a lot about skincare, and after talking to her for a while, she recommended me this one. But this is the packaging. I don't think I even said what it is. It's an exfoliant mask, like peel out, you rub it on your face and then you peel out, and she said that I should use it, I think, twice a week. But I don't know, I haven't used it yet. I just took it out of the package. And now some hair care products. So as I said, while I was there, my hair was basically terrible. So I decided to pull out the big guns, and it didn't really help while I was there. I really think it was just the water. But I got the shampoo and the conditioner from Olaplex, the number 4 and number 5. And I also got the number 3 that you're supposed to use before you wash your hair, so you leave it on for 10 minutes. I haven't tested this one out yet. And I got the number 8, which is the one that you use during the showers. I do like this. Haven't tried this yet, but it only really worked on my hair once I came back. While I was there, it just wasn't working. And I also got the little hair oil. That's the number 7. Smells nice. It has a very chic, nice smell to it, but it's not very strong. I feel like it doesn't really hold the scent for a very long time comparing to some other hair products that I have. But it smells nice. The light situation is not really great, but now I have the very few electronic items that I bought. The very first one was a blow dryer, a hair dryer. This is my first hair dryer. I never needed one. Here in Rio, it's very warm to the point where even during winter, I can just wash my hair at like 5 p.m. And if I need something, I usually turn on the fan, and that's enough. I try not to use heat on my hair, but in London, it was impossible. I really needed a hair dryer because my hair just didn't dry at all. It was too cold for that. I bought the cheapest one that I could find because I don't really like using heat on my hair. And it also has the English plug, so I have to use an adapter to use it here, but I haven't used it so far. Like, I just really needed it while I was there because my hair wasn't drying and I kind of got sick, so I needed to dry my hair. And the last thing that I have to show, I guess, it's my favorite thing that I got, which is my MacBook Air M4. I did so much research before buying this because I've been a really heavy Windows user for basically all my life, so I was kind of scared that I wasn't gonna get used to macOS that quickly. I wasn't gonna like it, but I really needed a portable computer. I have a desktop computer that I use to edit videos and to use on softwares that I need for pattern making, all of that. But I can only ever work on my desk. Like, if I have to go visit my grandparents, I have to stop working for all the time that I'm there. So I really needed a portable computer, and I did a lot of research when I was thinking about buying this, and I am so glad that I did. I haven't really used it for a lot of rendering yet. The only type of rendering that I did was when I finished editing a video this week. So I haven't used Clo 3D a lot because my computer actually lagged a lot whenever I used Clo 3D. So I am hoping that this will not lag because the M4 chip is very strong. It just has a little quirk. I don't know if you can see, but it actually has a French keyboard because I bought this in France, and I could order a Portuguese keyboard if I wanted, but at the Apple store, when I talked to the guy, he said that it would take 14 days, like around 14 days to arrive. And I still had exactly 14 days in France, so I didn't buy it then because I was very scared that it wasn't gonna get there in time in the last day, or I wouldn't have enough time to go pick it up. So I didn't buy it, and I kept thinking, maybe it's a sign that I shouldn't, that I'm just going to regret buying this. And I kept thinking, and I decided to buy it with the French keyboard anyways, but I was kind of scared that this is gonna bother me, but I barely even noticed because I changed in the settings, and I don't even look at it whenever I'm typing, so I barely even notice. The only time when it's kind of annoying is when it's something that I don't remember exactly where it's placed, something that I don't use like every day. For example, the percentage. In the French keyboard is here, but in the Brazilian keyboard you have to place Shift and 5. But yeah, he's a little quirky. He's French. And if I had to buy this here in Brazil, it would have been way more expensive. Even considering the tax that I had to pay, because whenever it's over $1,000, when you purchase something that's over $1,000, you have to declare it and pay taxes on top of it. So even after paying taxes, it was still significantly cheaper than it would be if I bought it here in Brazil. So it was still worth it. And I really like this. Like, it has made my workflow work so much better. I had heard a lot of people say that the touchpad was really, really nice, and I thought they were exaggerating, but they were not. It's actually very nice. And now, for the first time in my life, I'm using 2 screens. I connect this to my external monitor and I work using 2 screens, and it makes such a huge difference. I don't know why I never did that before. The only downside to it is that it only has 2 USB-C ports. That's kind of a bummer because I have to use like an adapter, but other than that, I am very satisfied with this. I'm very happy with it. So I'm trying to escape the sunlight. That's why I am totally off center right now. But the very last thing that I bought was this sleeve for my computer. I actually wanted to make one instead of buying it, but I was kind of scared that it was gonna get damaged, so I bought it while I was there, and I'm very happy with this because it's very sturdy. It's very thick and very protective, but I still plan on making one for myself. Maybe not right now, because I do like this one. But if you like a tutorial on how to make a computer sleeve, let me know. But yeah, that's basically it. I guess I bought a lot of stuff, some things that maybe I didn't need to buy, but I'm very happy with the little things that I got. I felt like I really needed this trip. I feel like it really brought back like this breath of fresh air. I just fell in love with everywhere that I went to, all the cities that I visited, and I encountered so many sweet people. I just kept thinking all the time, like, when is it gonna go bad? Because there's no way it's gonna be this perfect. But it did end up being perfect. And now I feel a lot more recharged and a lot more inspired to create more. I did try to vlog, but I was way too shy to do that. Maybe next time I'm gonna try to vlog more here in my day-to-day life, so I feel more comfortable to do that in my next trip, maybe. Because now I kind of regret not vlogging. I wish I had more memories of that other than just photos, but maybe next time I'm gonna be braver and not as shy as I am. But yeah, thank you every one of you who recommended me a fabric store to visit. I didn't go to all of them, but as I said, I definitely plan on coming back. If I didn't visit it this time, I'm definitely going to go next time. And that's basically it. If you did stick until now and you're still watching the video, wow, thank you. You're very nice, and you must really like to listen to me talk, because I'm pretty sure this is going to be very long. And if you like to see me make my very own pair of shoes, stick around, because that's definitely going to be my next video. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you guys around next time as well. Bye!